That was really good, Game the Reaper. I literally hit the button to go live, and then I saw your comments pull up. That was... I've never seen anyone on any live stream ever appear that fast and like the video that fast. That's high praise. Why so good? More bricks, nice to see you here. Hello everybody, it's Maniac for Bricks. Really bright lights, I probably should be turning them off because it's bright, but it's not lighting the room. Or, yeah, that'll be okay. So, as you saw, Lodadoza. I hope it's not obnoxious as a meme. Like, I know in that haul video, I said it like 3 or 4 times, and I actually cut out one because I'm like, well, I'm probably saying it too much. I might not carry on as a meme. Maniac for sorting. So, we are doing live sorting today. I actually haven't done any videos this week about sorting Lego. And I really want... And now, they're deciding to cut off the stream while I'm talking bad about them. You know, customer service... It's like, no, we're not bad people. We do good stuff. We're #1 for video streaming. I'm gonna get booted off of YouTube. I'll have to make a video on Daily Motion to say why I quit YouTube. As you know, everybody makes a video for why I quit BuzzFeed, why I quit Nickelodeon, etc. Hey, Jinblade, nice to see you here as well. Alright, I will pull up the chat in just a moment. I'm just trying to find where my channel actually is on the computer. So yeah, we have 2 things for this video. I'm going to be sorting Lego because in the aftermath of all the building from yesterday with revamping the hospital, I was kind of just tired and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to put this aside for now because I got a lot of bags open here and I don't want pieces to spill all out and undo my sorting. So I need to put a whole bunch away. And I also want to do a special thing. Philly Brick Fest mocks are going to be shown, at least the plans for them are going to be shown in this stream, so get hype. The sponsor for today is actually not Sprite. Plot twist, I ran out of Sprite, so I stopped sponsoring them, and therefore I won't get paid by Coca-Cola. But I will be paid by Barks Root Beer. It's in this container, it's keeping it cool, so I guess I should also mention the sponsor of the container, Rocky Mountain Tumbler. Probably one of the best containers I've had ever that keeps food, mostly drinks, of course, cold. And the Barks Root Beer, one of my favorite root beers. I've definitely had a bunch of them over time, but it's one I always come back to. Are you tired of bad stream quality? Because if you are, the uprising is here for you. I think if I were to do more streaming on a desktop, it wouldn't cut off as badly. I think it has something to do with using it on the app or on my phone or something that's making it all wonky. So I've done streams before on the computer, and I don't remember any of these issues happening. The only problem that I have is that the webcam really isn't great right now, so I can't do much about that. Ninja Master 1209, nice to see you in the room as well. You sold the candy for the uprising. You need to have at least one of those around, don't you? You need to use it for something. Then I got a transplant. Oh, the inside jokes of the chat. I did not think it would carry over from other people's streams, and I didn't think it would carry over stream to stream on the same channel. Hello Bricks, congrats. I drink to you with my Barks Root Beer, one of the most delicious types of root beer I ever have. I get it every time I go to a McDonald's or Wendy's. Unfortunately, we're done with the root beer, so I have to move it off screen. I will no longer get sponsorship. So we got our first 4 minutes of the stream sponsored by Barks Root Beer. I don't even remember the company that makes it. I know it's a subordinate of another company. I just don't know which one. So, I'm going to show the plans that I have for Philly Brick Fest mocks, and even a few mocks around here. I have a new strategy. I really hope it works, and that's kind of why I've been holding off on the 60th anniversary update video, because, oh, thank you, Jinblade 8304, I almost said 3804. This video is also sponsored by Jinblade 8304. Be sure to check out his merch store, link in the description below. He's got all kinds of clothes and mugs that you can wear all over your body. Just have his logo covering you head to toe. How is that? Is that approved? That's funny. No, I still want to like sponsor next stream. Maniac Man. Look, it's been 20 again, it's been 24 hours. And while I've been like I like woke up early this morning and then I passed out of sleep and then I woke up later near the afternoon. I still am not ready for merch. I was trying to look into Walgreens of all places to at least start making merch, at least personal merch, where it's like I'm gonna make a banner, I'm gonna make a T-shirt for myself. But I may do Teespring. If the quality is still good, person to person, you know, graphic to graphic, I will try Teespring instead for the T-shirt. I was mainly just going through Walgreens because it's like right up the block from me, and I could just, you know, get it right there. Same day print for a lot of stuff, so sponsored by Walgreens, I guess. We got a lot of sponsors today. We're doing pretty good. This is a good day for streaming. That burp was brought to you by Barks Root Beer. Fun fact. But, no, what I was going to say was I wanted to get at least a T-shirt for myself to wear, not necessarily a merch shirt, but I guess it would help to have a merch shirt. See, the thing was, I had a design for like months and months ago that I was going to have my Sig Fig torso on the front of a T-shirt. And then the back of it was going to have information about my social media or a little bit about me. I did something like that with Brick Fair, Virginia in last year, 2017. Unfortunately, a lot of it faded off. Probably never be sponsored by Jolly Rancher like I was earlier. Yeah, I mean, I like Jolly Rancher, but I don't like them enough to grab their attention. It's like, I'm not one of the best customers. Bad news, there are riots in the streets. I can no longer check my stores for Lego deals. Alright, maybe we should tone down the riots so we can still get the Lego. Like, we'll hoard all the Lego we can. Then we'll do the riots. So that way, even when we have to sit back in a bunker or something, we'll still be building Lego. That's not bad. The inside joke has been just carrying so far. Game the Reaper. I don't know how else we're gonna go with this. That's the thing. I'm supposed to sponsor, so I can tell people to buy stuff on my behalf. It's like a personal recommendation. Now, I like a lot of sodas, honestly. I prefer root beer more than most of them, but I'm still good with others for the Lego. Trying to look at what else I missed. I have propaganda Lego kind of looks. Come on, YouTube. Yeah, that's true. Cues elevator music. Life is good when you find a random Lego hand on the ground in your room. Oh, that was the first thing that happened in the stream. I didn't even realize it. Lego stores are also barricaded. I like that. Pepsi, I like. I don't know where I stand between Pepsi and Coke. Because at any given time, if I go to a restaurant and I'm like, can I get Pepsi? And they say Coke, and I'm like, alright. Or vice versa. I've definitely got, like, a bottle of Coke. Like, classic, like, glass bottle of Coke. Refreshing. Because the bottle makes everything better. Don't take that out of the context. Anywho, I don't know. I like both, but I feel like Coca-Cola can leave like a weird sticky aftertaste sort of thing. It's not, that's something I don't like about it. Pepsi is probably just more sugary, and that's why I like it a bit more. I like Coke Vanilla. I don't like Diet Coke. I drink it both Coke and Pepsi. They're good. I think I had Cherry Vanilla Pepsi or Coke. I don't remember which one it was, but one of those I've had. I have it occasionally, but I prefer the wild cherry Pepsi. And I prefer vanilla Coke. So there's that. I don't know. I also like Sprite. I like Dr. Pepper. I like orange soda sometimes. Like Crush or something. Or, was there another one? Mountain Dew I have sometimes. Just the regular. I don't really have the Dew USA or something like that. Fun fact, YouTube is a YouTube. Yeah. I can't be demonetized about that. To YouTube, please consider our requests. Burger King we're talking about. I'm not really into Mexican food. Outside of like quesadillas or nachos. And even nachos, just like plain nachos, not with all the spices and things on them. Just like the fresh cheese. Just give me that. Sometimes salsa. I've had Taco Bell like once. but not a taco. I think I had the quesadilla there, so I don't know. So I would say Burger King more than Taco Bell, but Burger King less than most other things. Wendy's is the #1 as far as fast food restaurants to go to, like drive-through. Wendy's, that's the thing. Sponsored by Wendy's, that's the thing. Where I got my Dr. Pepper, I mean, wrong brand. Where I got my Barks Root Beer the other day. I had leftover. McDonald's is right underneath Wendy's. Because I feel like it's like hit or miss as far as the quality. Burger King, really hit or miss for the quality. I don't feel like I have a satisfying burger there at any point. Sometimes the chicken nuggets. McDonald's can be hit or miss too. And Wendy's, mostly, like 90% of the time, I'd say it's good. More recently, for some reason, it's been iffy. But I guess it's because I've been in newer locations. So it's like, I don't know what they did there versus another one I usually go to. It's just that. YT. Wow, Jinblade, are you just like against everything I'm for? We are definitely gonna hang out at Philly Brick Fest. We have so much in common. No, honestly, it's all right. I know everybody has different things. The burning was the uprising in theaters now. One man this summer. I'll just do movie voices for the next 3 hours. It's like, wait, wasn't he sorting Lego? No, he just did movie announcer voices this summer. But yeah, let's get to sorting Lego pieces. So I have a whole bunch of bags right around me. As you might have seen part of in last night's stream, I was taking out a couple bags that would have pieces already sorted with them. I did them a while ago. Sequel to the brick separator, nice. Oh, well, find a new Wendy's. The ones I have, usually good. I mean, like, once or twice messing up in order, but not much beyond that. But yeah, I have bags in my collection to sort Lego pieces, and I put those bags in those drawers you see behind me. The idea is, if I need to get a gratuitous amount of parts, I can just take the bag and I don't have to take the container out. Or I don't have to fish through the container to find a certain piece at the bottom of it. It probably doesn't save as much space. Oh, come on! Come on, iTunes! Come on, Apple, come on. I'm gonna blame Steve Jobs, even though he's dead. I don't even know if he made the iPhone 5, but I'm gonna blame him anyways. This stream has demonetized Apple from sponsoring me. There! How about that? I can demonetize the company. Plot twist. No, seriously. I got a notification that said 20% of battery remaining while the thing is charging. The thing is plugged in. I don't know what else to tell you guys. I'm trying to make it work. You know what? I'm going to send up a backup. Hopefully it works. But no, the idea is so I can take the Ziploc bags out, rearrange them as I need to in different containers. I know it probably would save space if I were to just dump pieces in there as opposed to just keeping them in the bag or several bags. But for me, I don't really know where everything's gonna situate. Like, there's still a bunch of containers over there full of stuff stuck with the Apple products and YouTube. I'm just gonna go to the other thing. It's gonna be more grainy, but there'll still be a stream, I guess? I don't know. Team Android. I'm planning to move into Android. In like a month. Like, I have an upgrade for my phone coming up, so I'm gonna jump off the Apple train, which was not much because I only had like the 2 devices anyways. The rest of the stuff I have is PC. I don't have any Macs or anything. Maybe that's why it hates me. And it's like, oh, you want that device to work better, eh? Well, why don't you buy a Honda ago? Maybe that's the problem. I used the wrong iPhone to as a replacement, even though it's supposed to be like a lot better than what I already had. It's a real bummer. Instagram doesn't have this problem. I'm shouting them out. I'm shouting out another social media to say Instagram doesn't have this problem with their live streams. I've had the rare occasion of things pausing in the live stream, but you know what? They went back, and they wouldn't crash, and they wouldn't, you know, leave everyone in the dust. How about that? YouTube, I'm calling the shots. Maniac for Instagram. I mean, I do use Instagram like half the time as I use YouTube, and that's to catch up on other people's things, post some of my own stuff through there. Like I do behind the scenes stuff through there sometimes. Before I put up the update video for the hospital on YouTube, I posted all the pictures last night right after the stream corrupted and ended. Also YouTube's fault. All right, I actually do have like a couple copies of the Mixel that Greg and Clark opened on, and I sent to them. I have extras of just the pieces for them because I was planning for at some point to build a car wash with all these brush pieces. I still have to figure out how exactly they'll work. I know there are like some other specialized pieces that have went into them in the past, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna lift that one up. So it's a little less near, and here we have the ball of sun in my Lego room. Don't worry, I've been reading a bunch of. We want to make an uprising video this weekend. Who wants a logo in it? Yeah, you can put me in there. That'd be fun. And ask Brickset. We will all be known as the uprising from now on. Yeah, if Maniac gets the stream back up, I'll ask him. Well, I'm reading it. Who needs Rebel Lug when you have the uprising? Oh, your shot's fired. What was I gonna say? So yeah, how about that sorting? But also what I'm gonna do, I was trying to say before, was what I have is a plan for how I develop my mocks. There are some mocks that I just do on the spot. Like the hospital, I built that just out of whatever pieces I had. There are a couple mocks for Philly I have here in a big stack of papers. And I printed out a picture of what the mock is, and then whatever pages I needed for the parts list. I have a container next to me, the rainbow cart, as I like to call it, that I have to dump out the unsorted pieces from there, sort them somewhere else, and then I could use those as a tray for what I'm going to build. So for example, I can just lay, 3 or 4 pages in here and say, oh, I want to build the Breakfast Club vignette. This is actually what it is. It's from the end of the movie. It's in black and white. I don't have a lot of color left in my printer right now. But yeah, the pages behind it will have what parts I need, what size, and what color. Even though it's black and white, it'll tell me the name of the color. So then, every once in a while, I'll be like, okay, I need to find these pieces, and I can check them off. I'll put them into the container, and then when I know that it's all complete with all the pieces, I'll build it. I still have the LDD files of how it goes together. So that will be convenient for me to build a whole bunch. I actually have that with not just mocks I'm using for Philly Brickfest, but just other stuff I want to build. Some stuff has actually been inspired by the LEGO community. So I have this one thing here. If you guys know Pig Animation, which I hope you do, because he's been around for a while as a LEGO YouTuber, and very well known for LEGO animations, like official LEGO animations, and just his own brick films. This is one of his earlier brick films, Little Guys, which was a spoof on 80s and 90s TV commercials of toys that were like really underwhelming but exaggerated for how they play. Unable to install YouTube. Oh, that's fun. So what I did was I made a mock-up of all the Little Guys. So it should be red, yellow, blue, green, and black. Black for the one that exploded in the video. And it has the parts list for all of them. So that's something that's actually pretty simple and would be fun to put together. I want to do that with some people, like build a little mocks of different things that people have done in the community, or have tutorials on. What we do in the stream is offline. Type TIE Fighters. Okay. I made an LDD file, the Brickset. I need to try that with the Brickset logo and maybe the studio. I think that'd be really cool if I set up like a mini shelf or something that'll be about YouTube stuff. I'd say the first one that I've ever had was a Fall Man car. He sold a bunch of cars that he custom designed in his Bricklink store a couple of years ago. May or may not still have. I'm not really sure. You have to check his store. But I do have one of the cars that he uses with his sig fig, and I used to have that in different spots of the Lego town. I will bring that back when I do my beach town, and when I sort everything, it'll be easier to bring back the beach town. Hashtag bring back the beach. But I think it'd be fun to expand upon that. I also have somewhere around here, I'll have to look for it later, but I have somewhere around here a Statue of Liberty that a Lego store employee made. If you follow me on Instagram, about 2 weeks ago or so, no, maybe it was like the first week of February or something, but I went to the Lego store. I was trying to do the pick-a-brick wall sampling for an upcoming video, and I threw it on my story that I was going to use clickbait. Yeah, that's what it was for, because the title of that video is going to be Lego store employee model, or I got something like that. But yeah, it's just something that somebody made out of pick-a-brick pieces. I replicated it, and they let me have it. Like, they let me have the replica model just to, like, take off a little bit from the pick-a-brick cup. And I will try to share that version of it on YouTube videos. That's why it's taking a while for that one to actually go up on YouTube, because I still have to remodel it. Like, take it apart, see what it looked like, how I built it, and then put it back together, and then have proper instructions. What I meant to do, well, it's kind of actually a good time for that, because I did see earlier today there were leaked pictures of a Lego architecture set for the Statue of Liberty and the Great Wall of China. They look cool. I'm not really sure about the Statue of Liberty, because it's cool that it has a lot of slope pieces that they use for the drapery for the statue, but it almost feels like overkill. I feel like if they tone it down a little bit, they would have been a little more intriguing. But I understand it's a day and age where you really want that detail in there and sculpting, so I guess good on them for paying attention to detail. The pedestal looks great. I really do like how that's set up, and I think it'll be a real seller. Like, a lot of people will sell that. Or buy that, I mean. A lot of people will resell that. When it comes to eBay and such. If Maniac gets the stream back up, I'll ask him. Well, oh, wait, that was earlier. Sorry. The stream, the chat here kind of stopped for me for a bit. Did you finish the ideas set? I don't know what else to do here. It's plugged in. I have the data on. I'm just pulling my hair out. I could go to really grainy Logitech camera just to save the stream. I don't know. No, my favorite Star Wars wing, X, A, then Y. I definitely have a lot of models for the A-wing, or I've gone through a lot of the models for the A-wing. I think I currently have 2, maybe 3. X, I only have maybe 1. I've had a second one, the original, but I got that one out a while ago. So it was incomplete, so I had to, I don't know, wasn't a fan of it. Y, I had a long time ago, and I did get the microfighter for it in December, but beyond that, I'm not really sure. Like, B, it's okay. I appreciate the gyroscope, function for it. Not really a fan of the shape. Not that it has to be shaped like a B. It kind of is, but not quite. I don't know. And the U-Wing, a bunch of my Star Wars on the same. You should make a giant stick fix statue. I have thought about that before. I mean, I'm currently, one thing I did print out as far as these plans, I printed out the Death Star plans. One of the plans I printed out here was for a brickhead sig fig. And I know a bunch of other people have done it in the community, so I was doing it a little bit around the same time, just by coincidence. I think it would be fun, but I need to figure out how to get the parts together. And what's really cool about it is the way the torso is designed. I have it with, like, bricks on the if you guys don't know what Rocky Horror Picture Show is, this won't make sense, because that's what it's based on. It's really just an interesting cult movie. I mean, I've only watched it like twice. My sister, big fan of it. She goes to different performances of it. Like, this is a movie that people premiere in theaters with permission, and will act out parts of it in front, and also make fun of the movie, because, there's just fun parts or characters, it's all part of it. which is really cool. But not for the faint of heart, not for kids. It is above PG-13. And then the other thing I have here, you might be more familiar with, is the art scene from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So this in particular is supposed to be based on when they have the daisy chain of kids and Ferris Bueller, Brandon, I forget the girl's name at the moment, but they're all like walking along hand in hand through here. That's what it's based on. I wasn't sure if I was going to do that scene or another one, but since I mostly do these vignettes in this diamond style as opposed to being square, I thought that'll work a little bit better. I'll have enough room to fit them around. The artwork on the wall, very, very minimal. Like, you would not recognize how that looks in the movie just by seeing it on here. I just tried to get some colors that go along with it, but it's really not supposed to be, like, super detailed. If I did, then I would have to print pictures to put onto them, and I'm okay without it being like that. But, and this one has an interesting thing on it, where there's a wall added on to the side of it. Do I follow you on Twitter? I think I follow you on Instagram, so that should be good. I think so. But anywho, the extra wall on the outside of this is actually outside of the base plate. I meant Jin Blade 8304. There we go. I found you through Instagram. You're pretty successful. I really don't know why. Like, that's the best platform that I have in terms of followers, but I know a lot of them are fake people. Some of them are just spam. Some of them are just inactive accounts. Some of them are just random. Like, I don't know how these people come out, but here they are. And, you know, I don't want to talk bad about them if they're people, but some of them I think are just bots. Like, I've looked through the accounts for them, and I'm like, well, it doesn't look like they're really a person. You know what I mean? Like, not actually posting things. They just have, like, a weird, sketchy link in their profile, like mine. I'm just kidding. The sketchy link is just to the YouTube channel, so you're already here. I've got you. But, do you have a Gmail email? Could I send you my draft from top 10? Yes. I don't remember if it's on my About page, but it should be floating around. It's Maniac4Bricks, same as the channel name, at gmail.com. You could send it through there. I'll look at it through later. Yeah, as far as Instagram goes, I post more goofy stuff. I post about when a video comes up on YouTube, sometimes, usually. But, you guys are here on YouTube. You guys already checked that stuff out, so that's not bad. I have you now. Very nice. Dave Frost, nice to see you in the room. I still get notifications, Dave, that you're, that you have a Bricklink store with saved items for me. I don't know what happened there. I don't know why. It still says that. Alright, Game the Reaper. They should make a B-Wing microfighter. I think they did. Or... No. No, I'm thinking of, they made a B-Wing in the Planet series. So, smaller than a microfighter. Mac Driver, what up? Right, Bricklet, I got to. Oh no, the cops are here. No, I can't say I know Bricketech's Gmail. Should make some custom brickheads as a miniseries. No, I'm not talented enough for brickheads. You know, I'll make one for myself. I have only Robin as like an official one, and beyond that, I know MC Survivor Man. If you look him up on Instagram or Twitter, phenomenal. He's I really need to send email to Brickset ASAP for mock. He requested. Do you know it's email by chance? I don't know. I don't know if I have his email. Have you tried looking on his YouTube channel and going to the About section? They should have a thing in there to say about send an email or send a message or something like that. Usually it has an option. Dave, I'm not really sure how to have you join since I'm premiering this through the YouTube app as opposed to the desktop. That would be easier to add people on here, but I think as far as the YouTube app, it only lets the person who's on it join the stream. That and Lego City Reboot? I don't know what you mean by reboot. Because Lego City's been going for a long time. It's out now. It's not a reboot if it's just ongoing, right? Yeah, so tried. He doesn't have his email there. Oh, okay. I'm not really sure beyond that then. Maybe send me a private message. We'll figure that out. Let's see if I can find the email for you here. Private message him 12 hours ago, didn't respond. Alright, Ninja Master. Sorry, we didn't actually do much sorting right now, but, yeah, good luck with swimming. Morning swimming just doesn't ring a bell for me. This does not sound good, but, good luck with that. Jinblade's heading out too, so we're gonna lose like half the stream to have the audience. Well, we're already losing the stream already. YouTube just not having it. Just doesn't want me to stream now. Like maybe get an overhaul in 2020 to maybe give it a fresh start. I'm not really sure. I mean, I know what you're saying because Legoland Town went into Lego Town. And then Lego City, or had World City, then Lego City. Maybe at some point, but I'm not really sure. I think it's been running for like 13 years as of this year. Pretty strong. Pretty popular. I don't know how they would update it beyond that. It's a hard thing for me to think of. But it's definitely something that definitely could be updated in the future. I would say that even for most other things. Thank you very much about the hospital, Dave. Alright, I'm going to try to get some stuff done. So, I saw a couple of 1x2s in here. We'll start off with that, as if I don't have enough of them. I actually took a lot of my trans clear ones out of here, because they were like, this bag will be full of them if that was, if it was just trans clear. So I got a lot of them through the Lego store. Alright, so you don't really have to see the desk where all of this mess is. Probably better off that way, because it's a lot, and it's all just aftermath. It's like, as soon as I finished building that hospital, I took a couple pictures, went to bed, and I posted them online. And then I did the video like mid-afternoon today before I finally got my tire fixed. So, you know, the spare tire that kept me from the live stream yesterday, got it fixed. I am more encouraged to do an auto repair shop mock, which I've wanted to do for a while because I used to have one in my old town, but in my old Lego town, I mean. But I'm trying to think of how I want to set it up. It may use the garage pieces that I took out from yesterday, but it also might do a couple other things. This bag is for 1x6 and above. So it's 1x6, 1x8, 1x10, 1x12, 1x14, anything beyond that. Because there's not a lot of them that I have, and even in multiple colors, so it makes it a lot easier. Like, that was it. Just to do for now. We got 1x4s in this bag. And the thing I like is that they're all mixed in with colors. Like, if I sorted everything by color, it would be very difficult. Sorting by element, I have enough pieces that could justify that. And make it a lot easier when it comes to building. So, that's why I did it that way. 1x3s. All 1x3s. That's what I was saying yesterday in the live stream when I was like, I should probably use more 1x3s because there's a lot of them in white in here. Look at this side and tell me that's not a lot. No, what is it? Currently I'm building the Black Panther. Oh, okay. Do you have a loaded dozers from the haul video that I mentioned today? I'm gonna have my hand in front of the screen half the time just to get through. Now we got 1x1s. Smaller bag, still a chunk of pieces. But and printed ones are in here too. But if they're modified or whatever, they're not in here. A handful. What was I saying? I like rock raiders. I like power miners. I kind of liked the older city mining, and they haven't again this year. I might get some. I think some are a little more interesting this time around. I would definitely want to get at least a starter pack. I'm not really sure about the other vehicles. I do want to get the older mining 4x4 though, because that one's relatively cheap to get. That's just a bonus for it, but that one is relatively cheap to get, and if I don't want it as a mining vehicle at some point, I can just have it as a pickup truck. It's really close to a pickup truck, just by the way it looks and plays. So, that's pretty convenient. Okay, the rest of these parts, I don't know if I have a category for them right now, or if I do, I don't know where the bag for it is. Maniac for Bricks, when will you be updating the mod team? Whenever I figure out how to do that. Because I know that's something I have to do through a desktop. And I've tried looking through YouTube to see how to update moderators or whatever. And I think it's something... I think when I did it a while ago, like months and months back ago, it was when I would use it more regularly for streaming. Like, if I stream through the desktop, then I could be like, oh, I could add such and such as a moderator. I don't know if it's something beyond that. Like, I would do it as soon as possible, as long as I knew how to. But since I've been doing a lot of streaming through the YouTube app, I don't know. I think when I talk in chat, you can just click their name and you can mod them? Maybe? Because I see, like, the ellipsis. Oh, okay. Yeah, on the app itself I can't do that, but I can definitely do it through the desktop. I'm seeing, like, everyone in the chat. So, yeah, there'll definitely be a couple moderators in here. Don't abuse your power when it comes to banning, because I know you guys are really good. I trust you guys. So, mods have been added. Except I don't have Bricketect here, so I can't add him as a mod right now. So, if we can get him on the stream, I will add him as a mod. No problem. I don't remember if I don't remember if Brickstar is a mod, but I think he is. And I'm not trying to be like, you get a mod, but it's like, these are people that will hang out on the stream, they'll stay for a while, they'll conduct themselves well, and talk with other people well, including those on the stream itself. I trust them to do what they need to do, as far as their job. I know, rip Ginblade, we need Bricketect. Yep. Lego Freak. I forgot to add him as a mod. He's in there. Okay. These are people that know how to do their job. So, you're hired for free. I don't have to pay you. You don't need any paperwork. I don't have to file W-4 or I-9 or anything like that. So, you watch Bricketect too? Yes. I've been watching him since about December or so onward, maybe January or so onward. But he's been following my content for over a year, like a couple years. And I've honestly... you don't have to upload your resume. You're already as a mod, so we're cool. But I like the joke there. Quiz question, is minifigure or minifinger? I've said minifinger on one video on my YouTube channel. It was a video that I made about what I was going to send to Bricketect. I said, what's a Bricketect video without minifingers? So, that's why I included a couple of them, including my sig fig. So, on other videos... So, printed have to go on the side, because I want to keep the printed pieces for tiles and slopes and wedges out of the way. I think they will be very useful later on for other things. I actually do have another... See, this is another thing. If I built more mocks, I can get rid of more parts that I need to sort. But how am I going to build the mocks if I don't know what parts are sorted? Like, it'd be hard to find them. It's a catch-22. I actually have another... I'll bring up another thing here, since you guys have been so good tonight. Hello, Houston! You've been so good to me. It's a reference. Anywho, If I just spontaneously throw references out, just play along. Midnight Transport. Right, okay. Wait. That costs more for shipping than the actual thing? Oh my gosh. Remember when I had the Midnight Transport on the stream and I said, oh, this is going to come up in the future haul video, and then I was going to build it and I was like, uh-oh, this is actually incomplete. And I checked back on the seller and I was like, yep, they said it was incomplete, but I didn't know by how much. Yeah. Transparency. Go. I paid $8.99 for it on eBay, which I thought was a good price and probably had like a majority of the pieces there. Well, I actually can't build any of the vehicles until I get more parts. That's another thing. I'll also do parts lists for Lego sets now and try to part them back together in the bins before I start building them. I've definitely run into the error of building them and then finding a piece or two missing and I can't go on in the past. $8.99 for the Midnight Transport set. For those who don't remember. This one from the thumbnail. The shipping and handling, $12.90. It's not even that heavy. And I don't even, like, here's the thing. If it was priority, just automatically set to priority, that's cool and all, but I don't need that. I don't know why either. It's so weird. And I've had that before. The first thing I won on eBay was a Lego Kingdom set. It was a wizard set. It had the box with it. I wish I still had the box though. It had the box with it. It was $13 for the shipping. And I know that the set, I did not pay $13 for it. Come on, eBay. There we go. Back to rant mode. So, let's just get rid of that stupid crummy invoice. And let's hope that my funds for Philly do not hurt from decisions like that. Sometimes you can't control what the shipping is going to cost. But seriously, no. Just no. Here we are. So, for the 60th anniversary, the update video, number 2 is going to be a skit with Ant-Man. Like, you know the scene, if you watch Ant-Man, it's the scene where the guy is explaining about the tip that he got, and then it goes into a montage, and it's like somebody told somebody told somebody. I'm going to rewrite that. I already rewrote most of it, and trying to do it in a Lego style about how I got the instructions and part count for the 60th anniversary Walmart sets, even though I don't own them. It's about how I got through other videos, how I contacted other people about it, so I think it'll be a really cool idea. And then the montage will have not the music from the movie, because that'll be copyright, but something very similar to it that's royalty-free, which is really fun. And, there will be a video about how I do this process of, like, I'll take the parts and go through them and everything like that. I could technically start that right now with some of the parts, but I just want to sort away Lego pieces so they're not scattered all over. I don't even want to clean up some that are on the table behind me because some dumped out over there. There's a whole bunch of Bionicle figures just, you know, sprawling the place. So it's like, all right, maybe they need to work on that. 150% shipping cost. Yeah, over the product. I'm building an LDD mock right now, which is why I'm not talking about. Yeah, it's fun, mini brick. I've done that on streams. I just sit back and build in the back. I do feel bad saying who is a mod and who is not. And you've been pretty good for this stream. I believe you've been on 1 or 2 beforehand, so there you are. If I'm in like October or November when I'm commenting on MNR videos. I don't watch a lot of MNR videos, but with him interacting with me on YouTube so much through my videos, I'm like, you know what, this guy, I should really give him a chance and check out his YouTube channel. And it's like the thing in the Lego community right now, and I'm like, how am I missing out on this? So yeah, will you be a Q&A anytime soon? I've actually tried to gather questions about a month ago for a Q&A. Didn't really find a lot of them. And I've only thought of like a couple that people have asked periodically on videos and such that I may do for a Q&A video. Like, I would like to set that up have a proper background for it, and do Q&A, or FAQ, or both. Or as I also called it, curious queries. I used to run a bunch of Q&A sessions where it's like, hey, I'm starting a Q&A series. Submit your questions in the comments and I'll respond to them in a future video. I've done that before, but the problem was there was never enough questions to keep the series going. It would poop out like after 5 videos at best. Will I do Q&As on a live stream? I have tried that before in the past, like when doing subscriber, like if I reach a certain amount of subscribers, I would do that, but again, I don't know, it's here or there as far as that goes. Thank you very much, Mini Brick. And yeah, that's true, Dave. I'll watch him pick up a job test. Yeah, I just feel like a couple times he's just doing things to grab attention. Most of you guys are regulars. A bunch of other people would be regulars, but they've called it early for the night, and I don't know exactly. Like, that's something that I would have to prepare in advance, do it at an earlier time in the day, make sure it's a free day for me so I can carry it on as much as I need to, and I would have an announcement in advance. Like, I really want people to engage with it so that if you have questions for me, about me, whatever, it'll make sense. And it'll, everyone will get a chance. That's what I'm trying to say. So I have a thing of panels out now. There. Put one panel away. I'm honestly not sure. Do I want to break up the step stool mini mock? I kind of want to keep it around for a bit, so I'll do that then. I've had it for a couple of mocks, a couple of towns over time. When I say a couple of towns, for those who don't know, I've used a town for many times. Some of you may have been a part of them. What do you call your fans or subs? I call you fans or subs or viewers. I don't really have a catchy name for them, and I can't really think of one because I know I'm going to forget it, and I know it's going to be cringy if I do. If I come up with a proper name like, "What's up, maniacs?" It's like, oh no, I don't like how they said that. Those are the times where I just like cut the video right there before I keep going. I joked about calling you the Uprising. I don't want to make it a real big deal. I think at some point people are going to be like not in on it. It's only going to be a handful for an inside joke, and it's going to be misunderstood very fast. I don't have a name. I don't have a good name. I will keep it as not really a name for right now. I'm okay with that. Yeah, this is actually a whole bag just for cheese wedges. I know there's plenty out there, but for right now, it's just that dinkly line of them. I don't know where the other ones wound up, but they are in bins. Like, I have bins and bins of bulk parts moved out of the Lego room into my bedroom because there's so much unsorted Lego pieces. I'm not planning to get all of them sorted tonight. I don't plan to get them sorted in a week or even a month. But I want to get enough around here done that I can bring them back. What do we have here? Are you double as good as Just Too Good because you have 4 in your name? Well, not quite, because Bricks for Chris has a 4 in his name, and I'm not on par with him. And I'm trying to think who else. I'm not as good as Jinblade 8304 because he has 8,304 in his name. Manda Productions is 34, so I don't know. The number thing is just because it's quirky, and my channel actually started as 13 Hammer times 62. Before that, I did have another YouTube channel that was Van Purple 09, so that's like your typical, I like music, so I combined Van Halen and Deep Purple, some of my favorite bands, and 09 being the year that I made the channel. 13 Hammer times 62, pure chance of how that username came out. 13 and 62, I think 13 was the year I graduated high school. 62 being the reverse of the birth date, which is January 26th, so 62. The Hammer Time part, pure coincidence. I didn't know if I was even going to do Lego videos on YouTube. I was just trying to make a new account so I could subscribe to people and keep up with it regularly and comment or whatever. on YouTube. And it actually started as, let me go through my iTunes library. I'm going to shuffle all of my songs. And the first song, I will use part of that as my username. Literally, the first song was MC Hammer's You Can't Touch This. I am not making that up. And I'm like, you know what? I can go with this. 13 Hammer times 62. It kind of rolls off the tongue. And when I started making YouTube videos about it, like 2 years later or so, I used that as rolling off the tongue as part of how I introduce the videos. Welcome to 13 Hammer times 62's Lego set reviews. Because it rhymed and had similar setup of syllables and things like that. And it's like, okay, that's cool. But what happens when I do anything that's not a Lego review? I don't know. At some point, I actually changed it to just having a set intro that would already put my username there and what kind of video it was. So I would record the video starting with, this is set number 8304, Smokin' Speedster from Lego Racers or something like that. So it's like very, like, kind of disjointed because he didn't hear anything about me talking until that part. Even though there was like a couple seconds before that for the intro for the video. I would love to do intros again for my channel. I don't know how to make them decent quality, enjoyable to watch over and over again for every video, and not too long. The ideas I've had for my YouTube intro have been since like September of 2017, where I had a song that I wanted to use. I only used it so far in like one video, a royalty-free song at that. So it's, you know, nice and easy to use. But it was kind of a longer track, and I'm like, I don't know where to make the cuts so I can have a nice 20-second intro, and nothing more than 30 seconds. If it's 30 seconds of an intro, it just seems like a lot. So besides Brickset's advice, how do you grow a channel? I just do what I do, and if people like it, they'll come and find it. I tag a lot of my videos so that it's relevant tags, but still enough that people, if they're going to search for things, they'll find it. I mean, I've had times where people stumble upon my channel just by coincidence, and they'll say thank you for a certain review being out that not a lot of people do. So I'm like, well, that's pretty good. I'm glad that I do that stuff instead of having to go to clickbait. Hey, Brick Rookie, nice to see you here. But yeah, after 13 Hammer times 62, like a year or two later, I don't remember exactly when, I switched it over to Maniac for Legos. At this time before I realized that Lego is the plural for Legos. And I was like, okay, that's actually a more familiar territory. Like, you know, this is a Lego Maniac that I grew up with that mascot in the 90s. My original email was related to that as far as the name. So it was easy to draw from there and be like, yeah, that could be a YouTube channel name for me. Like, I would be the Maniac for Lego. And the way that I was inconsistently uploading stuff or what I actually talked about per video kind of makes sense. And I was like, there's no order to this. It's just crazy. It's maniacal, if you may. That's just me drumming up a self-loathing. But I digress. At some point, shortly after that, I saw a lot of YouTubers were changing their names so that they took Lego out of the title. Like, Bricks for Chris used to be Bricks... It used to be like Lego for Chris or something like that. And even Jang. He used to have The Jang as one channel. Later on, he had Lego Jang. And then he changed it to Jang Bricks. I changed mine sometime after, where it was Maniac 4 Lego, or Legos. And then Maniac 4 Bricks came out. So, that's how I got to my channel name now. I have done other channels in between. Maniac for Bricks Extras changed to Maniac for Bricks More, which basically is like, if I don't feel like putting up certain videos on here, it might just go over there, but it's really not that much right now. I've used Maniac for Bricks More for set building, which would basically be, I bought a Lego set, I unbox it, and then I lay out the pieces so you see what they are. They would actually be on an overhead camera, which was pretty cool for the time. And then I would do a time-lapse of building that set. I wouldn't review it there, it would just be about the build. So a lamer version of brickset's live streams, basically. And sometimes there's videos where they actually build the set on camera. Yeah. I have done a couple time-lapse builds on here, and I think I did those building sets even here. I've done a couple stop motions, but that was years and years ago, and I don't really have the right equipment for doing it again. I'm not going to use my channel for commenting until I have more content. That kind of makes sense. I usually see it the other way around, but it kind of makes sense. Like, if somebody's going to check out your channel, you want to have something there. Fair enough. And I've definitely had that before where tons and tons of times people would ask me, hey, can you check out my channel? Can you subscribe to me? Like, even today, somebody said, sub to me, I'll sub to you. Sure, you will. It's kind of weird. Well, every time it disconnects, I have to rehearse what I just said so that you guys actually get it on the stream. So if there's just like cutoffs, you know who to blame. I don't even know where YouTube doesn't want you to know its secrets. I don't even know what secrets I know about YouTube. If I knew secrets about YouTube, wouldn't I be successful? I'm not successful. It's just pure chance. It's pure luck. Yeah, you're joking, I know. So, I have another thing here as far as secret builds, upcoming mocks. This is a parts list for a beach house. I've actually developed this months and months ago. I only printed out the instructions like the other day, and it's a pretty complex build. But the idea for it is to build it as a small house on a 16 by 16 base plate. The walls are not going to be straight up brick building. They're actually going to be like a couple of snot bricks, as I call them, like these kinds. They're going to be on a couple different areas of each wall, so they actually have more built into the wall. But the walls are going to be laying on plates like this. Any money from 2017 from YouTube. I know that in 2015 or 2016, I forget which year it was, I got paid $100. $100. I made pennies on videos. Pennies on videos that I would actually go through editing, re-recording, and trying to make it decent. So, if you're trying to use YouTube as a full-time job, good to those who can. It's not for everyone. It is not something that can really help. Like, I wish that I could use... Like, I only have videos monetized so that if there is some money I can gain from it, it's something I would pour back into LEGO. And kind of like a lot of other people in the LEGO YouTube community. It's not just so I can get rich quick. It's something that accompanies what I'm already doing on YouTube and hopefully expands it. Like, if I made more money, I would just buy more LEGO pieces. Like, some of the eBay sellings I've done over time, I throw the money right back into buying more LEGO. So, I don't know if it's a penny per view, but I don't always have a lot of traffic. Like I said, I'm not really successful. I'm not just too good where he can go out and buy gratuitous amounts of LEGO sets as soon as they pop out or anything. You know, I'm just like, here I am. You see the room. But, yeah. I'm trying to think as far as right now, like, what else do I need to... What other bags can I sort into? And I have this bag. Mostly doors and windows. A few ladders in here. Yeah, windows in there. I could probably throw a couple more doors in there. Or door frames. Because I have, like... I have a whole tray full of just door frames. I picked them up a lot. I like swooped them, practically, from the LEGO store months ago. Because I love door frames. And I love those types of doors. I don't have enough of them. And now I think I do. I know that I have a couple of doors to fit into the door frames. They're buried somewhere. I've even, like, given some away to things. They're good for steadying a mock. They're good for just, you know, like, if you use just the door frame itself, you can walk minifigs back and forth through. For example, the Battlefield Ninjago City uses those as 1x2x7s, as opposed to 1x4x7. They're really good for just holding the mock sturdy and having, like, a small wall in whatever you're building. usually a building. But unfortunately, I think this might be more door frames or more doors than I can fit into this one bag. So I will have to separate them into another bag at some point. But at least for now, I know that they're together. Oh wow, there's a lot of other pieces in this bin. It's just a mess of things. I've tried sorting Bionicle pieces out before. I do have like a couple of units that are for them. And I believe with those, I don't remember if they're in bags or if they're just in there loosely because there's a good chunk of them. But yeah, this is overfilling. I will definitely have to sort these out into more categories now that I have a lot of these parts. Or just build with a lot of them. So, there's that. I have a lot of sorted Lego sets on my left. I do need to find a better place for them, just to put them in better boxes or whatever, so I know, oh, these are where all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle sets are. Oh, these are where all the Lego City sets are. And the Lego City I've actually been tearing apart slowly, not the one we built the other day yet. But, other older ones, like, I have like 2 copies of this, maybe 3. And some of them, if I don't need the extra copy, or I'm not interested in that city set, I will be putting them towards eBay. I will check all the parts if they are correct. And, like, I want to treat my buyers better than some sellers treat me. I have had one time, like, with the Rock Raiders haul that I had earlier published today, I had somebody that, when they sold that set to me, first of all, it was good and cheap. And second, oh, good evening, Mr. H. Nice to see you here. For every 100 views. Oh, wow. May need to go to sleep. Yeah, Game the Reaper. I'm just going to yap the whole night away. Canadian Brickyard, nice to see you here. I'm looking forward to more videos from you guys. The Rock Raiders haul that I had earlier today, shortly after I purchased that and it was already on the way in the mail, somebody, like, the seller actually got back to me and said, hey, I know there were missing pieces to the set when I sent it, but, you know, most of it is still there, and can verify most of it was there. Can I send you more pieces that, you know, make up what was missing from there for, like, an additional $5? And I'm like, yeah, that's not bad. And it definitely saved me from, like, another trip to trying to find them individually on Bricklink, where it might just find like 1 or 2 of those pieces per store. So I appreciate that customer service where it's like, I know that you're interested in these sets and I want to help you out to complete them. So that was good service. I want to try to do something like that when it comes to eBay stuff. Like, if I need to resolve something, I will resolve it as best as I can. When it comes to selling the Lego sets, I want to be sure that I've gone through them. And filming tomorrow an actual city update. Super excited. I'm really excited. I haven't done one in a while because outside of the Lego building in here, I've been trying to write a script so that my Lego City updates will be more thorough. A lot of times when I've done videos, as you've seen more recently, I just yap and I'm just talking all the time and I don't know when to stop and I stumble over words. I try to edit that stuff out or retake those videos, but I really want to, like, I want to add more style to it. Like, this time around, I want to do it where it's not going to be super professional. It's just kind of like a sketch, if you may, of me as a reporter talking about the Lego City. It will actually have visuals and things about it. It'll be like, every once in a while, it'll cut back to me on camera, you know, reading some kind of news report. So most of the time, it's going to be actually taking place in the city. You get to see it from different angles, up close. Maybe have the minifigures talking for something. You know, I think that'll be a lot of fun. Just to change up how the city updates are done. It will still have the same kind of, you know, information of, like, what's changed in the city, what I want to add more into the city, and things like that. But it'll be done and it'll be presented differently. So I think that'll be fun. Actively while recording or narrating the script after you're filmed. How do I become a mod? Well, I have to click a little button for that. I clicked a button. I don't know if it clicked the button for the mod, but, you know, there it is. But Lego Team Builder, nice to see you here. I'm stumbling over words. I need more sponsorship. For those joining in and didn't hear about it before, a couple of us on YouTube have been joking on live streams that if we bring up a drink or a food item, it would count as a sponsorship. Or if there's like an obvious brand that's in the frame, that would be a sponsorship. Like, for example, earlier I had this Rocky Mountain tumbler, so I counted that as a sponsorship. This video is sponsored by. It's not actually sponsored. I'm not sponsored by anybody. But the joke is that I endorse this product, and you know, they're honestly they're whatever I talk about on the channel, that's another company's product, and I say positive things about. I'm not paid to do that. I've talked about other YouTubers' custom items on here in the past, and those are just genuine my thoughts about it. Like, they were just gracious enough to send them along to me, or I would actually pick them up from somebody and give my own thoughts about it. It's not even like, oh, because they're paying me, I'm going to say good things about them so they can keep paying me or something like that. It's not like, oh, I need to run it through them to review it or anything like that. Like, Brick Gear, I've talked about them a bunch of times just because I like the stuff. And it's just coincidence that they were at Philly Brickfest last year. I got to meet them in person, and they were going to help me out with other stuff later on. So that's not like, oh, we made a back alley deal. It's just, we're doing stuff. I'm just enjoying other people's stuff. Even what I'm wearing here, this is Zazzers. Like, somebody on Zazzers developed nice designs for Lego Divers t-shirt and hat based on theme. And the t-shirt's actually pretty accurate. There is a torso like that, which I really like. I don't know if I would use it for like an alternative stick fig torso or occasional or whatever, but it's still just a nice shirt. It's also really comfortable. Just the shirt by itself, you know, pretty nice. The design on it I like, but I'm not gonna say exactly, oh, this so-and-so provided me a free product, because I didn't. I bought the product myself. I just like it. When it comes to reviewing stuff, 9 times out of 10, like 9.5 times out of 10, I rate it based on what I think about it. It's not based on somebody's paycheck or anything like that. So there's all that. And yeah, I gotta go find some other bins or something that I can put all these pieces into. I did have a couple of bags for 2x2s, 2x3s, 2x4s, and so on, but I don't know where they went, so I'm not sure about that one. What I'm going to do in the meantime, I could still sort out cheese slopes, because there's a whole bunch of them in this bin, and it'll definitely fill up this bag more. I'll sort out the slopes on the side a little bit later. I don't actually know what that meant before about actively while recording or narrating the script after you're filmed. What you meant by that. That's why I didn't answer the question before. I feel like there was some part of the question missing. Wait, isn't Lego everywhere? So that is sponsorship? It's like a free sponsorship for Lego. Like, that's why they're not... They hound on only certain things of, like, what you can or can't talk about. Because, you know, they may not want to publish about it you know. And if it just winds up in different hands, that's not really, it's not their jam. Actually, a lot of the slopes in here go towards that beach house design that I showed earlier in the stream. So, DVD, rewind back to that if you missed it before. I will talk about it in a future video, though. I also want to tear apart a few things in the Lego City, in the Lego Beach Town, because I need to put them into a Lego City category. And Lego Creator is going to be mixed with that as far as sets go, because they complement each other pretty well. It's a suggestive selling. Yeah, pretty much. Private message us with your address. We need to get you some minifigures. Thank you very much. I will get in contact with you about that at some point. Maybe, probably after the stream. But yeah, when the city update comes, I will definitely add all of the sig figs that I've obtained into the city somehow, some way. I'm hoping that I could build enough buildings that can occupy those figures appropriately. I do have a couple custom figures that I throw in and out of the buildings, but they're really mostly unnamed. I think I've only named 2 of them earlier today or something like that. Maybe one of them earlier today. Oh, they got another door frame. But beyond that, I don't know. I mostly want to have it with the sig figs, because it's the people I talk with on Lego, about Lego, all the, most of the time. And it's fun. It's like more personality. I always have fun finding sig figs of other people and other people's city updates, my own or otherwise. It's fun to see them doing different things, Sometimes even the people themselves get a kick out of it. Can we get hints on tomorrow's uploads? Tomorrow is a Friday's vlog, which is something I've been happy to reintroduce on my channel. I used to do those back in 13 Hammer Time 62 days. And for tomorrow, I'm a toss-up. I don't know if you guys... Which of the following would you like to hear me talk about from my personal experience about Lego for tomorrow's video? Number 1, buying and selling. Number 2, a Lego scandal. It's not that I was partaking in a Lego scandal. It was rather something that occurred to me. And as a clickbait title, I call it a scandal. It's not really... What it really is how I got banned from a store because I was buying Lego. Or browsing the Lego section. It'll have a more clickbaity title like Scandal. But in all honesty, it's disconnecting me in the middle of my speeching. What I plan to do is I'll develop a script. I'll record a video of me in front of the camera reading the script, like off of a camera or behind it, like a teleprompter sort of thing. Or if I have a bunch of papers there to look like, oh, I'm reading a news report or something. And then I'll have separate video clips that I'll take to show different aspects of the town as I need them for the video. Then I'll overlay those on top of the news report type of clip. I don't know if people are really fans of me being on camera. I know it's something that people are hit or miss about when it comes to just any channels. But, I like it for the fact that I can express myself, and I know that it could be kind of all over the place, and maybe I don't look the greatest on camera, I don't really spruce myself up for camera. It's not like makeup or anything like that. It's just, I think my hair looks okay, and go. Or if my hair doesn't look okay, wear a hat. That's the secret to me wearing a hat, by the way. I do like hats, though. In general, I like wearing hats. But it's just a bonus that it's like, now I don't have to worry about my hair being all over the place on camera. But yeah, I know some people are really iffy about like actually showing themselves on camera, even having their voice on camera. I've come to be used to it. Where it's like, at first, I wasn't really in love with the idea of it being on camera. But I feel like if I can't really put anything else as a visual and I want to talk directly to the viewer, like yourself, it helps. It puts a more personal connection onto it. And for live streams, it just makes it more fun of seeing actively what I'm working on, or what I respond to, or how I react to something. So I think it's the extra personal touch. And I know it's not for everyone. Interesting. It allows you to connect with your audience better. Yeah, there we go. I think it's a good thing to put your face on camera. We don't, because Diana's too shy. No, yeah, I totally get about shyness. I think I've only done it for maybe 2-3 years now, not including this year, that I've been on camera. I actually, when I first started 13 Hammer Time 62, and like a couple months after, I was doing a face reveal. It wasn't even on my channel, but somebody that was a regular follower of me asked to do an interview over Skype. They recorded it, and therefore my face was actually on camera for someone else's video. I now have that video file, and while it's not the best quality, it's like, well, I was never better quality anyways. I don't know if that's something I could re-upload. Like, I obviously have to get permission from that person if they're still active. And, I haven't seen them around that much. Like, years later. I haven't really seen them on the channel, but I still like it. It's still just a fun thing. A fun fact about how I got introduced to YouTube for a, face reveal. Hey, Dalek Bricks is here. Nice to see you. Ludicrous Lego! I thought you did know I was streaming. I mentioned it once or twice. So, okay. Nice to see you here as well. Because I thought you were going to bed or something. Whether or not we want to admit it. And, I mean, I've definitely spent late nights working on videos that would be for later, or a video that just didn't process throughout the day, or I had to revise it, you know, and it's not worth the effort. I just feel like all groggy in the morning, you know, just maybe didn't mention that you were streaming, if so, I forgot. No, it's okay. No problem about that. I was watching TV earlier too. That's fine. This isn't really a thing that you have to, like, watch me on camera. I mean, most of the stuff is taking place off camera. I just didn't think the camera angle is going to be that great. And something you really need to see of me just picking out pieces one by one and putting them into bags. So this is the kind of thing that, like, if you would open up another tab and do other stuff, go ahead. It's just mostly for the listening part. For this stream in particular. I do want to do streams in the future that will have a bit of a gaming aspect to them. I've thought about, oh, it would be cool to talk about different LEGO games and show a bit of them on stream. Problem I have, I don't know how well that's going to be streamed. Like, I do have an Elgato. I've never gotten it to work with my computer to the point where you can actually see, well, what's actually going on in the game. Like, I tried LEGO Dimensions shortly after it came out, and I streamed almost the entire campaign. But, I had a bunch of issues with how it actually caught onto YouTube and was watching the live stream. It would keep lagging, and I don't know if my computer was also the problem with, like, not processing it enough. But, it jumped from 60 frames per second down to, like, less than 30. So, it wasn't great. And I really haven't streamed video games since then, except for, like, every once in a while on Instagram Live. And I thought I could take that footage, because you could save Instagram live streams. I thought I could take that footage and turn it into a gameplay series, where it's like, okay, I get to interact with the audience, and then it eventually goes to YouTube or something. But that didn't actually work out. So what happened? Sometimes the feed dropped. I don't really know why. Because right now, I have my phone plugged into an outlet. I have the phone is on the YouTube app, premiering the stream. And it's on data, which is better quality than Wi-Fi. I can tell, because I'm looking at it on the desktop, like the live feed, it looks much clearer than if I did it on Wi-Fi, where it would be very grainy. I did that the other day. I don't know how to make it better than that. It seems, not only with me, but other YouTubers like brickset, it seems it's not the best quality to stream using the YouTube app. As convenient as it is, and as much as I have fun making the thumbnails, just spontaneously, like, picture. As fun as that is, it doesn't seem to be holding it very well. And I have had the stream have issues because of my phone, like, draining of battery. So, I don't think it's really helping for that aspect either. Like, I tried to charge the phone for quite a bit before starting the stream tonight. So, I don't know what else I could do. I am trying to look into another webcam so that it'll be better, clearer quality. I could do it for my computer and hopefully run better. But we'll have to see how far that goes. Maybe do you like minifigure battle packs? Not like the Star Wars kind, but the ones that they have in minifigures and accessories. Like the Castle and Pharaoh's Quest ones, I like those. I don't have them, but I like the idea of them. Like, if you want an army build, this is very convenient. And $15 isn't too bad to ask for 4 figures, a miniature build, and a bunch of accessories for each figure. It could be better. I have bought the Ninjago one with some of the Elemental Masters for like $11 or so before. I think now it's still around that price at the LEGO store. Maybe even online. But I think the last one that I bought before that was shortly after the LEGO Batman movie. They had one that came out for some of the police officers. I mainly wanted to get it for one officer, but I was like, oh, the other parts are good too. I'll just customize them for other stuff. I don't need to keep them as these generic, nameless officers, or mostly nameless officers, for a certain reason. Chief O'Hara, I mainly got the hair from her, I think, and plan to use that for a sig fig that I needed for a long time. And I know the person who needed it for a long time also got it for the same reason. But it wasn't too bad. I also just added like another variety to my police force in my town. It's way overkill. I have to get a lot of police sets taken out from my collection, but also from the beach town proper. It's like I have almost all the 2012 police sets. I don't need those. If like they would single-handedly line up the table if I put all of them on there. And Forest Police. Alright, Game the Reaper. Nice to see you here. Thanks for joining again. I'll try to make these earlier in the day. I'm never really inspired to make a live stream until I see other people making them. And I'm like, alright, I'll wait for them to finish and then I'll go on. And maybe, like, instead of just doing live streams for days, I will try to just have more videos, like, spread out what actually is a live stream and what's not. I've been encouraged to do more live streams, and I'm now doing more live streams, but I also realize hard to keep up regularly with them. And it's not that I need the minutes or anything for YouTube, for the monetization or whatever. It's just a chance to talk to you guys very casually, and it's like, I could easily watch a bunch of YouTube videos while doing these, or watch someone else's stream. You know, I've done that a couple times, even earlier today. But I also find it fun when I get to talk for a bit on camera. Unfortunately, right now, I don't know how to do it through the YouTube app for adding other people, but if there is a way for that. But I'm okay with this. As long as I'm not straining my neck or my throat to an extent. My first video about the hospital kind of suffered from that. It, like, if it sounded a little off for my voice, it's because I was already talking. I don't plan to go too much longer than this. I'll give it half an hour at best. But I'll probably kick it before that. I got a lot of YouTube videos from you guys to catch up on, so I want to be sure that I do that. And it's not like, oh, I put those videos on as background noise. No, I will watch them while actively doing stuff. I try to multitask as best as I can, but yeah, I like the feedback I leave is legit. I had to get so many cheese wedges at the LEGO store. Mostly 1x2 yellow, 1x2 black, and 1x1 black. And I got a lot of them because they're really easy to fill up extra, space in a pick-a-brick cup. But also, I wanted to get a lot of yellow ones for one of the mocks I showed earlier about a beach house. I thought, like, do I get it for 1 floor or 2 floors? Because a lot of the exterior for that building is going to be made out of cheese wedges. Mostly 1x2s. There may be a black version of it, so that's why I got a bunch of those. Or they could be good for extra roofs or something else. So yeah, that's why a lot of those wound up in here. Like, I dumped the pick-a-brick cup into this bin. This bin alone, I think, is worth a live stream at this point. If I would actually sort every part into every category. There are some categories where I have things overlap. Like, 1x1 plates and tiles that are round go into the same thing. I might put the square ones together, but I'm not entirely sure at the moment. Like, how many of each do I have? Is it going to be, like, right after reading your comment, the thing is dropping? I'm not really sure if that's the case, but that's a good thought. There's no problem about that. And hey, if you don't want to show yourself on camera, why not show your pet? That's... I forgot to mention that before, Canadian Brickyard, but that is funny. You had your pets roaming around on camera. Now, I've watched YouTube videos before, and even recently, where people are like testing a Lego train track or whatever, and their cat is like, you know, they'll go to different sides of the track setup and like press their hand along the moving trains and actually like take them off the rails. It's like unintentionally part of the video, but it's hilarious. Okay, I think we finally got all the cheese wedges out of this container. I don't know how many are in the other containers though. So that's fun. But yeah, tomorrow's video, I forgot to mention before. Tomorrow's video is going to be a vlog, like in the true sense of a vlog, like me talking about an experience or something. What I've actually wanted to do for the past couple of weeks is do it in the style of YouTube animators, where they have a personal anecdote that they want to talk about on a video with a certain subject in mind, but then they have visuals to go along with it to show it in a more humorous way. I'd like to do that, but I'm not an animator, so it's not going to happen. I just kind of like, whatever I need to show a visual for, I just throw it in. But tomorrow should be about either the different methods I use for Lego shopping, like where I shop for Lego, or the problems I've had when shopping for Lego. And either that or it's in the same video. I can't remember right now. I recorded them weeks and weeks ago, which is why I have the same brown cowboy t-shirt in each of those videos. Like, they're all recorded in one night. I did a couple afterwards as another recording session, but I'll still have to think of more to do if I'm going to do it on a weekly basis. I know that there are subjects that I can talk about, and in my personal opinion or experiences with them, no problem about that. But I want to be sure that they're fresh material, something that's entertaining and unique to show on camera. The Brick Theorist. I would love to do more videos of those. It's been taking a back burner for such a long time because I'm trying to do this regular video basis thing. And it's always kind of playing catch up. Like, I still have to do every few days in advance. I want to make other videos that'll be more like insightful or whatever, but I need to be sure that I have some kind of consistency. That's a thing that I've struggled with a lot when it comes to YouTube, is trying to be consistent, especially when I have other things in my life going on and other people in my life to focus on. But, you know, something's got to give at some point. And YouTube has been the one to give a bunch of points, and I'm okay with that. If you could have any $20 Lego set right now that has come out, which set would you choose? I'm not really sure which ones are $20 sets. What's your favorite mock ever? It's between I'd probably say the Little Shop of Horrors Audrey 2. There was a video about that. I think I might have redone a video about that, but it was a really fun video. And a fun mock, really, to build. Like, it just inspired from, like, one or two pieces to build the entire thing. And it's starting me on this vignette series, which I'm happy to continue. I've had the ideas around for a long time, but I'm hoping I can get some of these rainbow cart things done so that I can start using them for piecing together sets and mocks that I want to build later. But for right now, yeah. I would say, if not the Audrey 2, which is honestly just great detail. Like, one of the few times I've taken a mock seriously when it comes to authenticity to a subject. The other one I liked was Bart Simpson. It's a little bit dated as far as the sculpting goes, using a lot of basic pieces and not finely done. But it's enough that you understand who it is from a distance, and it's also a convenient way of storing the Simpsons inside of Bart's head. It actually started as Homer Simpson, and for some reason I thought Bart would be very cool to build instead of that. Maybe I also had more red pieces than white at the time I could have just put together. And it took me like 1 or 2 Bricklink orders, and it was done. Like in a day. A couple hours. So after that, I would probably say the hospital is up there. I'm really loving the look of the hospital now. It's getting to be the point where it's like, this is now going to be the cornerstone of other mocks that I build for the beach town. Like, I'm that excited for it. Another thing that I built that I really like is... I'm trying to remember what it was. It was one I brought to conventions a couple times. Oh, the Homer Simpson mock. It's actually really basic as to how it was built, but the idea of just having all these Homers as clones and hiding a few Easter egg ones in there was just really entertaining for me. And to find someone on Bricklink that had a whole bunch of them for about $2 each or so before the shipping, which was international, that was just fun to do. Thank you about the hospital. What I'm planning to do in the future, I plan on a similar base plate, a 32x32 that'll have 2 driveways, usually used with a police or fire set. I plan to use 1/2 for police, 1/2 for fire, and it's going to have buildings in there that are roughly the same size of 16x32 studs. They will still have access underneath for a fire engine or a police car. I will have the right height for them. They will have doors or doorways that can go in between both buildings if they need to be. I still have to figure out how the jail is going to be set up in the police station, but it's probably going to be, it's going to be at least 2 stories. And it's going to be maybe 3, depending on how the police station works out or how the, if there's going to be a helipad or anything like that on top of it. The idea is to condense it from what I have so far. I'll actually do a video where I tear apart the police station already there and then explain. I'll explain it before in a video, but, you know, the reiteration for people who haven't seen it in a while. But the hospital is what inspires me as far as, like, dividing rooms and such to make the building. But I'm still not sure about the $20 set that's out right now. I don't know what I would choose. I don't even know what $20 sets are out right now. I can think of a $30 set I want, and it's the vacation set from Creator. The one that's like a giant minivan, basically a recolored mystery machine. I love that set. I really want to get that. It looks so good, and Beach Town, it's just another beach thing I could add in. That's what I'm saying. Creator is really good at complimenting City. I see Deb. I know you joined a little bit ago, but I forgot to say hello. What is up with the stream and going offline for me? It's something about how my phone is connecting to it. I really don't know. And I don't know if the battery life is helping with it, but it's just doing weird things. We regret this one time at the LEGO store seeing a bunch of green 1x1 wedges and not getting them. They're amazing for a certain type of tree build. Green 1x1 wedges. Like the cheese wedges? Yeah, those would be good to pick up. I could definitely see that being used for trees. I know that right now my LEGO store has a lot in sand green for... I don't remember if it's for the wedges, but I know it's for the plates and some of the bricks. They have like the 1x1 snot bricks. Those are sand green. They have 1x2 plates. And I believe 1x1s without snots. So just a regular one. Alright, Brick Pasta. I guess I'll talk to you later. I am really hyped for the Pirates roller coaster later this year. Oh my goodness. I don't even know if I could fit that in there. Like, I'd have to get some approximation for the size of it. But can you imagine if I just had, like, the Jetstar in my beach town? For those who don't know, the Jetstar was a famous roller coaster in Seaside Heights, New Jersey, Jersey Shore. That was taken into the ocean after a hurricane. Like, completely dropped. The pier, like, fell apart with the hurricane, and it just dropped into the ocean. A lot of it has been salvaged. Not going to be in the way anymore. A lot of the cleanup has already been done for the beach and the pier surrounding there. It didn't really also help that there was a fire shortly after that. That destroyed a lot of different buildings and scarred others. But yes, it was quite a disaster. That's kind of one reason why I tribute my town as calling it Studside Heights for Seaside Heights. They still have a lot of operations there. They've been rebuilding the piers and still building other buildings in there. So even some of the original attractions are still there, like the infamous sawmill. I don't remember if it's a cafe or grill or like the sawmill. You'll know it by that name. Most of it is still there and in the same spot. The arcade that's next to it, though, is now some sort of other restaurant, I think. So that's kind of a bummer. A couple of rides taken out or moved around. They did rebuild a new roller coaster last year. It is, I think, Hydra or Hydrus. It's some kind of green roller coaster with a serpent theme. So it's really cool. Bart Simpson reminds me of the Darth Maul. Yeah, it kind of does. It's kind of the same idea of like using very basic pieces to build it up. It's not like I'm using slopes or certain building techniques or anything. It's just straight up building. Straight up building. Just made a new phrase. But yeah, I haven't seen the new hospital yet. I'm really excited though. I was thinking about getting one of the earlier Lego City hospitals just because I like the design of it. But since I already built one, I don't know if I need to buy it. How far away is your Lego store from you? About 40 minutes. Maybe 45 or so. I live in Caldwell. The closest one to me is in Paramus. Anything, like I've gone to the other Lego stores, they're usually like more than an hour away. I know that Cherry Hill in New Jersey is a good maybe 2 hours away. Like real south, like for me. Because I'm real north. Wait, Canadian Brickyard, what's going on? You're so much hype in the comments. I don't know what's happening. Lucky my closest Lego store is like 1.5 hours away. Wow. Okay. I know that the closest one to me isn't the biggest Lego store in my state. The biggest one is a little over an hour away. Closer to an hour and a half. It's not really much bigger as far as the inventory goes. Like, they don't have more stuff of a certain theme or whatever. They just have more room for that part of the mall. They do have a mural along the one corner of it, because it is a corner of the mall. They have a mural along there with giant Lego minifigures posted, just like a silhouette in yellow. I've taken pictures there before. I sometimes take pictures at the Lego store with me and the giant red 2x4 brick, which at this point I can now like put my hand next to. That's fun. I'd say the one benefit about it is it's so large of a Lego store, it can fit more parts into the pick-a-brick wall, and it has a clearance section. Like most Lego stores, it's kind of like in between shelves. This is like, it's actually front and center, like, as its own aisle, practically. Where it's like a stack of Lego sets that are damaged or discontinued, and they will have the markdown on them. I've picked up one or two from that kind of pile before. That's how I got the Ghost. That's how I got the Phantom from Lego Star Wars Rebels. I'm not even into Rebels right now, but I will check it out at some point later. But I do like the way the set was designed, and I picked it up from there. Less than $24. I'm still here, but just chilling. Yeah, that's okay. My Lego store is pretty small. Yeah, my closest one is like pretty much a straight shot in to get to everything. A little bit on the side. And that one's also on a corner, so it has like a giant Lego sign on the side of it, but no mural. No minifigure to speak of. My closest Lego store is a small mall store. I bought the aftermarket roller coaster from Brick Coaster a while ago. We were going to unpack it during one of our city updates. Now we found out there's a pirate roller coaster. Super excited. Okay, fair enough. If there wasn't a Lego coaster coming out this year between the new coaster tracks that they've made for different Lego sets, I would have probably picked up a Brick Coaster too. like even a small one, I think would be substantial enough, and probably would be just big enough to fit in there. And it'll be like, okay, I'm glad I got the small one, because if I built more than this, it would be all over the place. I'm still trying to figure out how to fit a track into my town for just a train, because I really like the idea of having a passenger train, and just having a town with a train is exciting for me. I've wanted for so many years to have a Lego train and run it around. But now I don't know where exactly it's going to fit and how. I've considered before of just revamping the entire beach town and trying to work it so that I can fit the train in there but still have roads, but still have buildings. I don't know if the beach is going to take a hard hit at that, but it would definitely take a hit as to where it's located. So the planning still continues. I have 1 or 2 mock-ups that I did on Lego Digital Designer. I don't know if Blue Brick is helpful for this sort of thing. All right. We were thinking of doing a coaster between buildings, kind of like Vegas. That could be cool. That's a nice idea. I don't really have like the room for an elevated track. So as much as I would like to do something in that aspect, I'm not feeling confident with an elevated track. I would rather have it on the ground level, or do it as A-Fall Man did, have it underground and build the city on top of that with like some sort of superstructure, holding the town up, as opposed to just holding it up with Lego pieces. Cough, cough. Old Acropolis that I had years and years ago. Cough, cough. That was a town that I built. Mainly, it was on one... Mainly, the town was built on one of these kinds of base plates. An extra large... Like, at the time, I only had one of them. And I built the first layer of this. I really like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The Lego series for it was great, and I would love to get more of those. Just figures, or some of the... Hint, hint. I would like to get more of the figures, maybe some of the sets. I'm not sure if I would collect all of them, but for what I have right now, I'm happy with them. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say it ain't so. Some of you might have seen the earlier video. I think... It was definitely earlier this week. I put up a video, and I had a reference to Monty Python in there, so that's what Dave is talking about in the chat. But I built it so that there was one section of it that had a sewer system, so I could put Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in there. I love that, and I love the. I'm really happy the pictures came out good for that, because years and years later, I love looking back at those pictures and seeing how I placed everything, how it had like 2 different. I had like one stream in the middle of it and things like that. The rest of it was actually built as an underground mining area. Not supposed to be directly under the city, but just like some mock-up. Like what Jangbricks is doing right now with his city. That was a lot of fun to do. I sometimes threw lights in there. I threw sig figs in there sometimes. Yep.
I'm going to bed and you're loud.
Okay. I'm going to bed and I'm loud. Well, my mom's going to bed and I'm loud. That's why I'm saying I need to wrap up the stream rather soon. But I still got a couple of things taken care of. You know, I definitely wiped out a lot for one card, and all the pieces that were left over here, not bad. But yeah, that is definitely a cool idea. I first started loving TMNT with the video games, not the cartoon. I got into the cartoon much later when Nickelodeon started airing it. Apparently they're doing a reboot now. I'm not really fond of it. I liked what they did, even for the 3D animation. I liked what they did for that series. But I fell off at some point, just from not keeping up with them. But yeah, I used to have that as the base for the town. Everything above that, there was like a plate or 2 layer that I put over it, and everything on top of there, like cars and buildings and minifigs, using a Lego container to hold, or to contain Lego, I guess. But yeah, I love that town. It was something that I had because I had minimal shelf space, and now it's like the opposite, where I have a lot of shelf space and not a lot of table space. So I can't really expand as far as the tables behind me. Right now, it's one 6x3 table. It's pretty sturdy. And the other one next to it is a 3x3.5 table. And that's TLDR, I need to be sure I have both of those accessible. So the table in the middle is good. I used to have it where it expanded a little bit closer to the wall, but it wasn't really working. All right, Canadian Brickyard, have a good night yourself. I will be happy to check out your new videos real soon. I will have a video out for tomorrow for Fridays. I don't know if I'm going to do a second video about the sorting from tonight. Possible. But I've already had a video in the works about sorting, where I was going to talk about on video where I was like, okay, for this I'm going to sort out all of my Lego City sets and Lego Creator sets. So they'll go into a certain drawer, and then I will have better space in the beach town. That was like a week ago when I started recording that video. So a lot still has to be done, and a lot has been done, but some only periodically recorded. But I will have to head off sometime soon. I know my mom keeps making frequent appearances in the live streams, so I guess that's fun for you guys just to hear second person in the room. It's not a mama's boy thing. It's like a... Just don't think of it that way. It's not. It's more of a just my family lives here, and I don't have a specific place for myself. This is my place here, and the bedroom, and obviously share the rest with the family. Yeah. Oh, actually, found one of the panels in here with that Divers logo. That would be a cool set to rebuild. I would love to rebuild some older Lego sets. I'm not saying I want to rebuild all of them because that would take forever. And I did see you, Richard, in the live stream, so thanks for joining. It would be cool to rebuild older Lego sets, but I think I'll only rebuild a couple of them. Because there are some out there that I'm just not really into anymore, or don't really care that the pieces are all over. In some cases, I'm happy that there are a lot of loose pieces around, because then I could use them for building whatever I want to. I've picked up loose pieces all the time from Bricklink stores and such so that I could build whatever I'm interested in. I got a lot of bags in here. Ooh, I gotta put this up with the Mars mission and Life on Mars stuff. Sand purple in here. Sand purple in here. Just happened to be like that from an eBay lot I won a while ago. Like about a year ago. Tubes. A lot of slopes. Okay. I think the last thing I'll do, I'll sort out the slopes from this bin, and I'll see if I can dump the rest of the parts somewhere else, so that way I can open up options for building what I want to. I think it's a really cool idea that maybe I would just like build mocks on live streams. I think it's something you guys would be interested in, because it's like, oh, when is the thing going to be done? I have to keep watching and find out, and it'll be fun to see where it goes in the mock. Like, I already have plans, but sometimes people have good ideas, and I add those in. I want to use these for foldable tables, like in that the aforementioned set about the mystery van or whatever. Do you have any tips for getting sets for new people? Well, obviously you can buy them in the store, but I would say if you want to get you mean like buying new sets or something else? Where am I on? Oh, there they are. There's actually now cheese wedges and tops of buildings, like those 1x2s, like that. A couple of them are printed, a couple of them are stickered. I do want to add more like that in there, or new or used ones. I'll actually have more about that in tomorrow's video, because that talks about the different methods that I use for shopping. The short message is, if you shop in stores as opposed to online, there are different savings than if you go online. Like, you can go into a physical store. Sorry, the stream keeps cutting off, and I will cut out in a bit. But I will cut out when I want to. There's sometimes they'll give them different discounts in stores versus online. And I'm not saying one is better than the other. It's just like, just be aware that you can't find it online and then go in the store and expect the same thing. Sometimes not. Like the other day, I went to Kmart and in the wake of me having a flat tire, I went into Kmart because somebody told me, hey, they have a whole bunch of Lego. They have the Lego Friends hot dog cart now to $4 clearance. And I'm like, well, that sounds pretty good. Let me check that out. So I went in. I tried to look for that set. It was not available in the store. So, and it may just be for that particular store. But I also doubt if I was able to find it in there that they would match the price. Sometimes stores honor the online price. But it depends on the store and it depends on their policy. Sometimes Bricklink is good. Bricklink, I would say, is good for used sets as well as eBay sometimes. I've definitely gone through both eBay and Bricklink when it comes to used sets to find them. And it's a good way to, you know, like, if you don't mind used parts, it makes it a lot cheaper. As opposed to buying them brand new. Sometimes I'm in a store, I'm looking for a certain item, and I'll get other ones just because I'm in there. For example, a while ago, I was looking for a certain Lego Dolphin. And I looked, and there was one store I happened to be in for other things that they had a set with that dolphin. The set was sealed, but it wasn't a bad price. And buying it as the set was actually better than trying to buy the dolphin by itself from another store. And, you know, pay the extra shipping for whatever store that was. So, I did that. And back in the day, Toys R Us used their rewards dollars on Lego, where people could buy Lego and get rewards dollars from that later on. And they could even use the rewards dollars to discount the Lego they were buying later. At some point, they changed their policies and they said, no, I missed two of them. They were stuck on something else. But, yeah, there's a couple other pieces in here I'll have to sort through and probably sort in bins that I already have. But, yeah. Not bad so far. It's mostly empty. I could dump these out into another bin, use this bin as I want to for upcoming mocks, and if I put these parts away, I will be able to find the parts as I need them for future mocks. I definitely got a lot filled up for this bin. It's still a lot of space in there, but it's not bad. I also was able to find a part for yesterday's hospital build. In the video, I mentioned that I needed another white cheese wedge if I wanted to use it in that shape to accent part of the top of the front of the building. So now I have that, and I can use that. I'm also going to add these Martians as best as I can assemble them into my Mars display, which is top shelf there. Because people were talking on another live stream about Mars mission, and they're asking what Mars mission sets I had, or if I was aware of some, and I was like, oh yeah, they've been out here for quite a while, like a month or two, on camera. I'm still here and fully listening, working on my mock. Yeah, no problem. Alright, so we're gonna head off for tonight. Things are kind of quieting down, and I am tired, and my voice is showing it. So thank you for watching this video, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for joining me for the sorting this time in the live stream. Lego sorting will never end. I'm just trying to make it easier. But we'll see you next time with more Lego videos. There will be a new one out tomorrow. And have a good night, everyone.